Oh, we're up. We're up. We're up. We're up. We're up.
Oh, there! Look at that! Look at that!
All right, so should be able to see everything. Hey, Laurel's in here right away. Radical.
She's been waiting for us to stream so she can play. She wants to figure out all
Oh,
the deets.
gotcha. Get all the tips and tricks here,
Yep.
just like Tips and Tricks, the magazine.
For all your BMX needs.
No, it was a video game magazine. They had huge sections. That
I know,
ha-
it just would have been funnier if it was for like bicycling or something.
but it had like huge sections with like cheats and codes and stuff like that, and you could just like look it up like a dictionary almost.
Yeah.
It was pretty sweet. And they had a competition or a sweepstakes for a Game Shark, and I won.
Oh, nice.
I got a free Game Shark.
For what system?
It was for PlayStation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had a 64 Shark.
So it was pretty. It was they were giving away. It was like a new Game Shark that was like a CD, and then you would plug the Game Shark into the memory card drive instead of in the back.
Okay.
And honestly, it kind of sucked. And then one of my friends stepped on the disc, and that was the end of it. So
Oh.
yeah, I lent it to him, and he did not give it back. So that was unfortunate.
I never did like mail-in sweepstakes and whatnot, but growing up, my family had a landline phone in the basement that was just the fastest redialer that I had ever heard. Like, and it was great for like radio call-ins or anything where you needed to call X place, you know. And I won so many Fox Kids giveaways. Like, I won a weird ass Star Wars board game, Spider-Man, like one of the not tapings, VHS tapes of Spider-Man. I had all of season 1 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Was that radioactive Spider-Man?
Yes, yes.
What's going on, Sarah?
Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man. I just won so much stuff, but the downside was you could only win once a month.
Oh.
And then I also won via the radio 4 tickets to Adventureland back in the day, and
Wow.
my parents didn't know about that one. So like when I told them that, I was like, yeah, you gotta go to the radio station and pick up 4 tickets to Adventureland. My dad's like, what? Why? I was like, I won them. I answered the trivia correct on the radio. I wasn't 18 or 21 or one of those two ages. I was
Probably
still in high
18.
school, and so I couldn't win like the jackpot that they had.
Yeah.
But they were like, yeah, here's 4 tickets to Adventureland.
Awesome. Heck yeah. I mean, those aren't cheap either. 20-some dollars,
No,
aren't they?
it was nice.
Yeah.
Once my dad realized I wasn't lying, he was like, oh, well, thank you. I shouldn't say lying, but like, you know, joking,
Yeah. Wasn't just joshing around.
pulling his leg.
Well, we got 2 people here, so I think we can get started. All right, so we're looking at Worms Armageddon for week 3. And then take a peek here. We got the rules pulled up. I found
That is the game Worms that is played by Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck.
What? I don't get
Bad
it.
joke. Continue on.
Yeah,
Armageddon.
you lost me on that. Oh, yeah, he was in that movie. No Liv Tyler in this one, unfortunately. Or wait, no, this one's Liv Tyler right here. She's right here. You can see her. She's got a gun pointed right at you. Thank you, Liv Tyler.
Oh, okay.
So I've got the PC manual. We're gonna peek through that. It's pretty hefty, so we're only gonna be looking at the pertinent parts. And then obviously we have our wheel picker, which, by the way, you'll see on the right-hand side here, we did get one right. We got me right.
You got you. Wow, look at that. How come number 5 is 404 not? Oh,
Yeah, I kept him out. He didn't want to be included, so I said
right.
okay.
That makes sense.
So yeah, pretty cool. Working on the new setup here. I think we can probably swap the backgrounds for each game. I think that'll be pretty neat. If I can just find something, maybe some fan art from time to time. All right, so here we have a turn-based strategy video game. Because we also only drew 8 names on the first week when we should have drawn 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a skill issue on our part.
Yeah, I slipped. It's all right. So basically, the game is you take control of a team of worms who are decked out in army gear and various utilities. And the whole point of the game is to either kill or knock the opponent worms into the water. Before yours, obviously, have the same fate.
Yes.
So this is
play
just
games like Tanks or
Yep.
Tanks.
You know.
There's an online game that I played and I always forget the name of it. I forgot it last week when I was trying to compare.
Ash and I used to play a game called Pocket Tanks. It was free online, and you would just like aim your gun up and choose how much power, and then take turns shooting at each other.
World of Tanks might be, but the one I'm talking about is like online. I'll look it up here while Mark starts.
World of Tanks is a little less turn-based. I think that's pretty just live.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So what we're doing here is
Scorched Earth.
it is a turn-based strategy game. We're playing on the PC version, but if you want to play the PS1 version, you can. That might be... Alright, Fuchsia, let's crank his shit up. I can crank you up. I think I can. No, I've got you maxed. Let me see if I can do a bit of... Alright. We'll get it figured out here.
Gunbound, by the way, is what I was thinking.
Oh, Gunbound. Let's pop you up to about 130, 130%. How's that sound?
130. Oh, I should probably talk. How's this? Does this sound better to everybody?
I'll give that a shot. Fuchsia, how's that sound? Any different?
Do I sound different?
No different.
Not really.
Okay, I'll bring down Game Chops and we'll bring Kylo up. Now try.
Okay. How's this? How is this? Part of it was music was a little bit loud. That's better.
It's alright. It's got an audio mix here. Let's play with it. Here, we'll bring you up a little bit more.
Is that Smash Brothers?
No, it's... Oh, the background, yes.
Yeah.
Gooder, better.
Gooder
and better. I'll take it. Alright, back to what we were looking at. Beep. So PS1 is an option, and as Fuchsia has noted in the Discord, it is a bit different. You only get 5 worms, 4 worms.
4 worms, I think, is what he said.
Yeah.
It's 4 to 8, I remember.
Whereas in the PC version, you get 8. Yeah. So you have more worms to keep track of. But on the flip side, the PS version, you have to deal with a controller, which can be a real pain in the ass. The ninja rope in the PS version is just almost impossible to control. So the rules here, we're looking at deathmatch war games. We're ignoring the single player campaign and we're doing the deathmatch option. It's a randomized map for every fight.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh yeah, Fush is right. Yeah, it's you don't get to really see what you're shooting at. The screen's smaller. You have a lot less control over what you're looking at. It's tough, but PS1 was a lot of fun. That's the only one I played on. Anyway, yep, you get a randomized map and you get a rank based on your win and loss record. Winning obviously increases your rank, losing lowers it. First thing you're going to do is create a fresh team. Give them nice, good names that you're going to be going into battle with here.
Excellent.
They all have a speaking language you can choose. And then you get a special weapon that your team will always start with. So normally as you start out in the game, you don't have access to every single weapon. It builds and builds turn after turn.
Makes sense.
More and more gets unlocked. Plus there will be supply crates that will drop, and if you walk over or jump into them or fly over, however you get to them, if you touch them, you can get those weapons as well.
Okay.
And I believe the crates are mostly random. You don't know what's in it until you've picked them up. Howdy doody, M. Thanks for stopping by.
Hopefully there's something in the instructions that shows what the weapons do.
I believe the weapons are listed, and if they are, we'll take a look at them. I haven't really dove into the instructions a whole lot. Optional here is you can do basic training until you get a gold medal. That is off the timer, so take good advantage of that. Get used to the controls, get used to the weapons. Hey, thanks, Em. I'm doing great. How are you, man?
I think that is definitely something I'm going to take advantage of.
Yeah, I need to get used to PC controls, so I'm definitely going to be doing some training myself. Thanks for stopping by, Vaden. Appreciate it. And then, yeah, so at least up until you get a gold medal. Once you hit the gold medal, your training's up. And then you need to press start and start your timer on the deathmatch. So that's going to be a good opportunity to also learn weapons as well as the controls.
Okay.
They do give you the option to go back and practice, but it's on the timer, so probably not a very good use of your time.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably tank your training at the very end and not get the gold medal if you still felt like you needed to. Keep trying different stuff. So our progress and tiebreakers here is going to be the highest ranked match beaten, not reached, beaten. Elite being the highest rank, and I believe it's in the book, the manual, what the different ranks are. And then the first tiebreaker then being the time that you reached that point. So let's head over to the manual. All right, so we've got installation and uninstallation, which we don't need.
If you don't know how to install the game, well, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too hard to do that on Steam. But, I mean, to be fair, Strife's also having some troubles with that, but he's trying to do it on a Mac.
That, you know what? That's fair.
Yeah. Can't give him too much crap for that. That is tough. So, introduction here. We're going to ignore quick start games because we don't need those. Playing the game, we'll go ahead and review that because that looks like a lot of important information there, as well as your HUD. Changing your weapon. Your weapons are us, or your weapon usage.
Weapon usage. That's a lot of pages.
Yeah, so we got 13 pages. That's probably where we're going to find our weapon explanations. Crates are us, so you can see there's 3 different kinds of crates. You'll have pictures of them, I'm sure. Collectible utilities and instant effect utilities. Menu if we need
20 ranks, not counting the first one.
And then down here we have our death match. And then the last 30 pages, no pictures? Oh, that's unfortunate. So the last 30 pages here are create a game, network play, wormnet, troubleshooting, blah, 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 blah. Oh, controls, we'll go over controls. That's probably a good one to look at.
Yeah.
All right, so let's find where we're going to start.
Hold up, there's a picture.
Oh, Fuchsia. Fuchsia denied.
That looks like a picture.
That team is named CAC. There's CAC 3. CAC. Interesting. All right.
I was when I was watching Garlips play Lemmings, he kept calling it Worms, and so now I'm fully anticipating him keeping on calling Worms Lemmings.
So what we need to do is we need to watch Garlips play, and whatever he keeps calling the Worms is what our next game's going to be. That's my
Yeah,
my guess.
exactly.
So single multiplayer game, blah 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 blah. Up to 6 teams can battle it out. So it is team-based combat here. Turn-based strategy, battle across bizarre, randomly generated landscapes, and this is kind of what your landscapes look like. And all of these are going to be hard surfaces that you can step on, even the little points. Skull, all of that. And then down here you can see where the water level's at.
Yep.
And as you shoot into the ground, you will make craters, you can make holes. That's one of the strategies you're going to want to look at, is just blowing the ground out beneath worms.
That was always fun to do in Gunbound.
So there is a time limit for each turn. You also have an overall time limit called for sudden death. I'm not sure how that applies for deathmatch. Okay, so you have worms and mines randomly placed. There are mines. They are very, in my opinion, they are tough to see. As a mine probably should be. Like
Fair.
keep your eyes peeled for them, because you can just blow your own ass up. You have a very, very.
I'm just sorry. Just reminded of something. Go ahead.
Okay. You have a very wide selection of weapons and utilities here, and hopefully we will get a look at them here.
Oh, prox mines in GoldenEye. Always fun to see them right before they explode in your face.
Yes. So it looks like once you take out the last member of a team, you can pick up any held utilities or special weapons. It's pretty cool.
Excellent.
So it does one of the strategies here is hiding your worms away and play a defensive game. Just keep in mind that's going to be kind of slow play. So
yep. That'll eat up the clock.
You're going to be eating clock if you're not playing aggressive enough. Oop, I got waking up baby. Let's see here. I was reading more strategy before.
Do you need to take a break?
No, Ashley's got it.
Okay.
Okay. Quick start games. We do not care. Another picture, Fuchsia, for you.
Wow, look at that. 2 pictures.
2 pictures already. Alright. You can use the mouse to scroll around the landscape. Simply move it in the direction you want to scroll. You can press the home key to return to your worm. Let's see, if you have worm set to manual, press the tab key to select a different member of your worms team. You can only change worms if you haven't already moved one or selected a weapon. That's very important. Do not, this is a tip that Fuchsia gave, do not accidentally start walking when you're trying to change worms, because that will start that worm's turn. So when you do the select worm, you want to be using tab to change instead of like left and right.
Good to know. I'll probably fuck it up somewhere along the way.
I think we're all gonna fuck it up at least once. Use the arrow keys to move around. Jumping is return, but you also have backspace. So let's see here. You can also make worms jump backwards by pressing return twice, so they do kind of a backflip. You can jump upwards with the backspace key. So, okay, see here, backspace is, the backflip is backspace twice. Okay. So this is something that's probably going to be very useful in training.
Oh, you can make worms jump backwards. Okay, so just backwards by pressing the return key twice in
Yeah, I
quick
wonder
succession, and an upward jump,
with the backspace key.
which is useful for performing air moves. Press backspace twice to perform a backflip. Oh, upward jump,
There.
just backspace
Just a minute
once. Mark will be right back, everybody. In the meantime, I'm going to start talking about Super Mario Wonder. It is a very fun game. If you liked Mario games in the past, I would recommend it. A lot of people are touting that it is as good as Super Mario World. It's up there. A lot of things, a lot of modes in the game that present good challenges, and the music is top notch.
Okay.
Oh, and Mark is back.
Yep. We had the baby monitor out here, so I didn't really need screaming in stereo. And Fuchsia here chiming in again that there is another jump, backspace, enter. So try out all different kinds of jumping when you're in your training.
That activates the flux capacitor. Be careful.
And you go into hyperdrive. Go back in time.
Yep.
Okay. So some of the weapons and tools have some nifty little tricks that can aid your worm in its movements. Check out the weapon usage section later in the manual for further details. Oh, you can press R to
someone is
replay
not
the
having a
last
good
shot.
time.
Yeah, she is not having a good wake up from her nap. So you can replay your last shot or watch it in slow motion if you want to. Kind of seems like a waste of time, but maybe if you are just like, what the hell just happened? You can quit using the escape key. Fuchsia, do you know if you quit a game that should count against your rank, right? If you just quit a match early, you're like, this is just not going well. I would assume. Yeah, it should.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So by pressing Shift Delete, you can force the energy bars to show up, which is good so that you can see all the worm's health. Every worm starts with 100 health, and you can just deplete that to take them out.
Excellent.
Yeah, good shout there, Fuchsia. Don't just force close the game and try to avoid the kill or the loss. Just don't cheat. So let's see, on-screen information. So we got commentary, very witty. At the top of your screen there, you have your turn and round time indicator in the bottom left. The wind changes every turn, so you will see that in the bottom right. The arrows will indicate the direction and the strength of the wind. So when you're making your shot, your long ball shots, trying to throw a Hail Mary bazooka or something, just keep in mind that wind can really change the trajectories. Your team status is going to be in the bottom center. You need to say something there.
I was going to say, like trying to kick a field goal in Cleveland Brown Stadium.
Yes, that crosswind.
Got that lake wind.
Gets you every time. So you have, every worm has their own name, their team name, energy values. That should be pretty obvious when you see it. So see, enabled utilities like double damage, crate spy, etc. will appear above the wind indicator in a small box when they are in use. So when you pick these up, I think these only come from crates that you pick up, but you can get things like double damage, or you can see what's inside crates.
Nice.
They're passive abilities.
It counts as a skill.
Skill. When you're selecting a weapon, you have a panel that'll slide in from the right-hand side, and then you can right-click to remove it or select your weapon.
Excellent.
There are a lot of weapons. Chat and quit panel should be pretty explanatory.
That's picture number 3. Oh, wow.
So there's an explosion and there's worms flying everywhere. mayhem has occurred. Okay, so there are two ways to load up with your favorite weapon. Click the right mouse button to display the weapon selection menu, then select the weapon or tool of your choice. As you move the cursor, the name of the highlighted weapon appears at the bottom of the weapon selection menu. Click the right mouse button to close it without making a selection. The number next to the weapon shows the amount you have available. One turn uses 1 unit, although some weapons fire multi-shots during their usage. I believe the shotgun, for example, has 2 shots. When a weapon
Lock
is...
and load.
Yeah. When a weapon is unavailable, the weapon is removed from the selection menu. Method B, you have keyboard shortcuts for all the weapon groups. You can use the function keys, the F keys, at the top of your keyboard and select your weapon directly. I'm going to go ahead and just use the right-click menu, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be doing this long enough to memorize each different F key. And also having a visual representation might help me with keeping track of ammo.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so weapon usage. Here we go. Here's a bunch of stuff.
Get ready.
Yeah. So airstrike. Basically, you just use your mouse and click where you want a plane to just swoop by and drop bombs. Let's see. So strike an target area that you select. Launch the airstrike. Simply move the target cursor with the mouse and click target to mark it. You can also select the direction, so they're gonna fly, come in from the left, come in from the right. That may be important depending on what kind of overhang you have or what kind of terrain you're looking at. So you can select the direction of the airstrike with the left and right arrow keys. This is important if you wish to hit the correct part of a hillside. There's 5 missiles and they deal a maximum of 30 points of damage. So strike weapons unaffected by wind cannot be called in caverns except for the napalm strike. Okay. Oh, the napalm strike is affected by wind. That's probably what they mean.
Right.
The banana bomb, the soft fruit of doom, will explode, split, and cause wanton devastation to an area the size of a small Greek island. Like their
Alrighty.
units of measurement here. You can use the 1 to 5 keys on the keyboard to set the fuse time, so it kind of works like a grenade.
Yeah.
Use the up and down arrow keys to move the crosshair and press the space bar to fire. The longer you hold it, the stronger the shot will be. Each banana inflicts maximum 75 points of damage. Okay. Here's my favorite, the baseball bat.
We're going Ness on this guy, on these worms?
Yeah, it works. It can work very much like in Smash Bros.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, if you kind of get close to them and you aim it up a little bit, you can just knock them right out of the park. They go flying. Very good weapon to use to get worms into the water. Does 30 points of damage, so it'll do 30% health. It's all right for damage, but the whole appeal to this one is just knock them in the water.
Yeah.
All right, so the battle axe. This mighty blade slices into the energy of all worms it touches, hammering them into the ground. It can only be used to actually kill enemy worms when they have 1 unit of energy, but it can cause huge damage to a group of worms, so cuts their remaining health in half.
Gotcha.
And also apparently puts them in the ground a bit. Okay. Bazooka. I think you get the bazooka pretty early in the weapon development, because I feel like I've used the bazooka a lot. Bazooka is very wind dependent. It will absolutely get picked up in the wind and fly back at you if you're not careful. Use the up and down arrow to move the crosshair. Press the space bar to fire. The longer you press space bar, the stronger your shot will be, and deals a maximum of 50 points of damage. Creates a nice big
Boy, the
crater,
last thing
too.
you want is friendly fire bazooka.
Yeah. Creates a pretty good sized crater and also can send worms flying a bit. Blowtorch. Use the blowtorch to dig into the landscape. That's really kind of it. You can turn the blowtorch onto enemy worms. It inflicts 15 points of damage, and I believe I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if you get the worm just right, you can like poke them with it. Like they burn their butt and they bump out a little bit, and you just keep hitting them over and over with the blowtorch, because you walk forward when you burn.
Ah.
So I think you can get multiple hits with the blowtorch, if I'm not mistaken. Fusha says that the bazooka, he's never seen the bazooka do 50 damage, so that apparently is a lie.
Rigged.
Rigged. Yep. Rigged hacks. Call back to Lemmings here. We have the bridge kit. Bridge kit.
Cute.
So looks like you can rapidly construct a bridge or pathway where you need it. Handy, but no damage. So you do have fall damage in this. So using the bungee will help prevent some fall damage if you are rappelling down a cliff. So press spacebar to release your worm from the bungee. Press the return key to drop selected weapons whilst on the bungee. Hey Deck, thanks for stopping by, man. We're going through the manual right now. We have the carpet bomb. Flees a multitude of dodgy shag piles rain from the heavens. Carpet strike sends those irate, discounted carpets tumbling to earth. I don't remember this one, honestly. I don't remember this weapon. So, reading it, it looks like it might be a more powerful airstrike. Select a target, left click, mouse button, and stand back. Cluster bomb, this is one of my favorites. You throw it like a grenade, it pops open into multiple bombs. So the first one explodes, does damage, and pops more bombs. Each of those explodes, just a big chain reaction of explosions. You get an enemy worm into the pit, for example, and you toss that in there, that worm is toast.
Yeah. Can I pause you for just a second?
Of course.
I didn't know if that would have been considered backseating or not, Decky, but yeah, I was like, somebody didn't watch Mark's and I's video last week.
I don't remember which one the blue arrow level is.
Well, it's not just the blue arrow level, it's just how to deal with the blue arrows, or to deal with arrows.
Oh, like the hills with arrows. Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah. Because
I
that is very much in the instructions, and we did go over that.
It's very true. Yeah, I saw the thumbnail to the clip where he had a really cool little scaffold going up the left side, and then clearly where the lemmings would climb up and over it. Like, oh man, there's a way easier way to do that. So yeah, cluster bomb works like a grenade. Breaks into a bunch of smaller grenades. They all do maximum 30 points. Yeah, we're trying to go through as much as we can here, Deck. Can't catch everything, but sometimes we'll pick up tips from Discord too. Pop those in. After that, we got the Dragon Ball. I believe this is like a little fireball. Energy ball towards the enemy, knocking
you get
them backwards.
7 of them.
Get 7.
You can just win.
Just take first place. Boom. 7 Dragon Balls, first place. That's all it takes. But yeah, it works kind of like a Hadouken. Fusha said. You stand next to him, you blast him. It does 30 points and knocks him back. Dynamite's really good. It does 75 points of damage. It can, depending on how you set it, it can kind of move a little bit.
Yeah.
It's really good to set it and then move as far away as possible. You can also like drop it down from the edge of a cliff or something like that. Creates a huge crater. So real good for opening up waterways. So earthquake here. Press spacebar to cause a considerable earthquake, shaking any worms and mines loose.
Ease.
Oh. So this one, if you are on a hill, the earthquake starts making you tumble down the hill. So be careful being on those beach sides. So you will tumble right into the water. Doesn't seem to do any direct damage. That shakeup could be pretty tragic, considering it could, group all your guys together too into a ravine. So
not something you want before an airstrike or something.
yeah, airstrike or cluster bomb, dynamite.
Dynamite.
We got fire punch here. This is, let's see, I believe this works kind of like a shoryuken, where you just uppercut them. Yeah, it knocks them into the air and also cuts its way through land. Stand next and press space bar, does 30 points, but yeah, it will launch them a pretty good distance. Not quite baseball bat distance, but still pretty good to get them in the water. Flamethrower, press space bar to propel flames from the huge tank on the worm's back. Use the up and down arrow keys to spray the burning flames in an arc. They are subject to wind direction, so be careful.
Yep.
Looks like the estimate of the potential damage ranges from 50 to 70 points. Just watch out for friendly fire. French
Okay,
sheep...
I did read that correctly.
French sheep strike. Okay. Unleash the wrath of stubborn French farmers with the sheep strike. Select a target with the mouse and left-click the mouse button to release numerous burning sheep, which come tearing to the ground. An incredibly dangerous weapon, which, due to the additional flames, can cause all manner of havoc and destruction.
Huh.
Is there another? I know there's a homing sheep, which I imagine we'll get to here pretty soon. Is there a third sheep weapon, or is this just the regular sheep weapon?
But why is it French sheep? Like, look out,
Yeah.
le bas.
Yeah, le bas. Hold on, I'm gonna scroll down and see if there's just a sheep. Yeah, okay.
I think
so there is just a
sheep launcher.
Yeah, there's a lot of... I mean, shit, there's a lot of weapons, just overall.
Yeah.
Alright.
Pigeon.
So it looks like this releases multiple sheep, and they come tearing to the ground. So, I wonder if
What
that means...
scares me is that it says due to the additional flames.
Yeah, so I think the sheeps explode and leave fire on the ground.
Burning
And
sheep. That's just terrifying.
yeah, based off the description here, it sounds like they come from the sky. So like an airstrike, but they're flaming, exploding sheep.
Hence the French.
Yeah, that makes them French. All right, so we have freeze, spacebar to freeze your worms till next turn. Your team is encased of blocks of ice and cannot be damaged. All right. So if you're on,
that's a defensive.
yeah. So maybe if you're worried about your other worms taking damage or something, and you can't really get them out of a jam.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll at least last one turn. Okay, so we got girders here. It says girders have many uses, particularly to provide a base for the ninja rope or a ramp so that sheeps can cross critical paths. So I believe you can rotate the girder 360 degrees, and then you click left mouse button to place it. So kind of like just building terrain, instant bridge, block progress, and yeah, if you need a wall or to use a deflector grenades, you get quite a few options with that. Basic grenade here. You can hot potato it a little bit and set your fuse time smaller if you want it to blow up faster. Throw it and just be mindful of terrain because it will bounce, it will roll. You can even toggle the bounce setting from max to minimum with the plus and minus. So play around with that.
Interesting.
Yeah, this looks like something to play around with in training. Kind of get a good feel for the bounce setting as well as the fuse time. I believe you start with the grenade in most situations. This is one of the first weapons that unlocks.
Okay.
Handgun. Fire 6 consecutive shots. Just bang, 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 bang. The up and down arrow keys move the crosshair. Press the spacebar to fire. Each shot inflicts 5 points of damage. Um, Not a very big damage weapon. I think there is a little bit of push on this one. It will push them a little bit. I don't think it's as useful as, well, pretty much anything else we've seen. So one of the earliest unlock weapons, also one of the least useful. But who knows? Maybe you've got a bunch of worms standing around with 5 or less health. You just want to mow them all down.
That's, max 30 points of damage right there.
Yeah, it's true. You could do 30 damage if you needed to. It says fire 6 consecutive shots. I wonder if that's per spacebar press or if it's in a row, just bang, 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 bang. I don't remember. Here's my favorite.
Find out in training.
Here's my favorite weapon, the Holy Hand Grenade.
Ah.
Unleash the power of heavens with the Lord's preferred weapon. This is a 3-second, no more, no less, low bounce grenade style weapon that will only explode when it has come to rest. One of the most powerful weapons in the game. Only a certain garden ornament could possibly be more dangerous. It is capable of delivering 100 points of damage.
Oh, and can you count to 3, Mark?
1, 2, 5.
3, sir.
Okay, so Fuchsia says there's no real weapon unlocking. You either have the weapon from the start or you find it in a crate. Good to know. Okay.
Okay,
So yeah, don't be expecting help in the form of anything but crates. Which also means you need to keep an eye on your ammo. Because you can run out pretty easy, because what sounds like what you start with is what you get. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Fuchsia, for the input. As always.
so we get help from crates, but not Kratos. Got it. Womp womp.
Womp womp. Homing missile here. Homing missile will aim for a specified target. Give it enough power that it can effectively find its target. So when you shoot it in the air, there's kind of a delay before it actually starts flying.
Okay.
So you like launch it, and then it'll like spin, like you were throwing a grenade or something, and then you'll hear it go beep 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 beep, and then it'll just activate the rockets and start flying to whatever it is, wherever you clicked it to go to.
Oh, they are aquatic and can be fired underwater.
That is pretty cool. Although there's an element of skill involved, fire hard and the missiles will sink. Yeah, so there is kind of a terminating plane there that it will just go away. Move the target cursor with the mouse and click on the target. Use the up and down arrow keys to move the crosshair and press spacebar to fire. The longer you hold spacebar, the stronger it'll be. This missile inflicts a maximum of 50 points of damage, and it does a lot of launching. You know, it will push a worm quite a bit.
How about ground damage?
It does about the same as a bazooka as far as crater.
Okay.
So it can be pretty useful for that. One of my favorite things to do is if I'm trying to get someone like on the complete other side of the map, like say I'm on the left side and he's on the right side and there's a bunch of shit in the middle, you can aim it to the top left, launch it really hard, and then when it finally activates, it will curve around. You know, it doesn't go in a straight line so much as it kind of has to curve around. And yeah. This game.
Well, Ash, viruses, I don't know, but we got worms.
We got worm. Ooh, yeah. But I mean, viruses or worms are technically viruses, right? In the computer sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. So no, it is not certified virus-free, and we do not have the £2.50 guarantee that we can mail this back. Next one is the homing pigeon, a semi-intelligent equivalent of the homing missile. This will do its best to reach the target you select. Obviously, pigeons aren't totally reliable, though. Move the target cursor with the mouse and click on the target, using spacebar to unleash the feathery hero. It'll explode, inflicting a maximum of 75 points of damage. I do not remember this weapon at all. Like, I have no clue how this one reacts. So, test it out in testing. Get your training in. Indian nuclear test. First it was the French, now the Indians are at it. This powerful underground test bomb will sink the land and cause radioactive fallout to flutter from the heavens, infecting all living worms. A tactical nuclear device if ever there was one. So sinks the land, so it makes the water rise up. Um, it looks like it poisons all living worms, but no other direct damage. Interesting. I don't remember that one either. I do remember Kamikaze. Um, so, yeah, this is just dynamite jacket. You know, your worm will explode, deals 50 damage to any worms right next to it. Um, say a loss of 30 points in conjunction will be sent. Yeah. So it will do damage. It will leave a small crater, and it does launch nearby worms. But on the flip side, you also lose your worm.
Yes.
So might be something if you know you've got the game in the bag. There's one worm left, and you have two. Just blast them if you don't have any better options.
Yep.
Landmine. So yeah, we've already discussed landmines. They set them on the ground. They will go beep, 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 and then explode. You do have some time to react and get out of the blast radius. So that is something you can do, is set them off and then run if you're trying to get through an area. Press spacebar to drop a mine. They inflict a maximum of 50 points of damage. Mines are a great strategic tool and can be knocked onto worms by other explosions. Also true. You blow out the ground beneath a mine, maybe it starts rolling down a hill. Maybe it falls to the ground beneath it. Like, there's a bunch of chaos that could ensue there. Longbow here. Each arrow inflicts 15 points of damage. Dual-purpose weapon allows you to fire arrows at unsuspecting worms or create a ladder for others to climb on. I don't think I have ever used this. Minigun. Use the up and down arrow keys to move the crosshair. Press the space bar to fire. As you fire, you can also move the gun up and down with the arrow keys, strafing the target area. I mean, it's a minigun. It's going to shoot a lot of bullets. If you get somebody cornered or something, you can probably wipe a worm out with it.
Yeah, definitely try to hit the predator with it.
Also that if it bleeds, it can die. Mad Cow. Ever since the European-British beef embargo began. Wow, that was kind of tough to say.
I was going to commend you. I was like, damn, try to say that 5 times fast.
There has been a huge stockpile of these frothing, deliriously mad cows intent on mass destruction. Unleash them in the direction you are facing by pressing the space bar. I'm assuming from what I've seen so far here, these are weekly challenges. New games every week type of deal. That's right. Yep, so at wheelofstruggle.com, we spin a game every Wednesday, and then we have 2 weeks from the spin to get our submissions in. Each game has its own rule set, so some have objectives that aren't just get as far as you can in the time frame. So this most recent Wednesday here, we spun Worms Armageddon, and our rule set is to get as far as we can in the deathmatch. Not so much the single player or the campaign, but the deathmatch mode. And so we're just reviewing the manual here. We're not allowed to practice, and we're not allowed to watch speed runs or anything like that, or strategy or anything. But we are allowed to read the manual, and we're allowed to read the rules. So kind of what we're doing here is just help people out, go through the manual with everyone, and help ourselves too. Sometimes saying these things out loud really kind of helps it set in.
Yeah, and additionally, any problems that have popped up since the wheel spin on Wednesday to today, where the council has given info within the Discord, maybe not everybody has seen it, we relay that info here.
Yes, very good point. Sometimes there's clarifications or even just little tips and tricks and pointers that make things go just a little smoother for everyone. As we were saying, unleash them in the direction you are facing by pressing the space bar. If you have more than one, you can release them in a herd by pressing the 1 to 5 keys. Being mad, they will make no effort to get over an obstacle and just explode instead. Each cow can inflict up to 75 points of damage, and as such, should be avoided.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Magic Bullet. Revisit the grassy knoll with this incredibly accurate magic bullet, which will seek out the intended target set with the mouse. The bullet will home in on the target, avoiding contact with the land. Use spacebar to launch the weapon. The magic bullet inflicts a maximum of 100 points of damage and is sure to stop any presidential cortege firmly in its tracks. Wow.
Wow.
All right, so you've got JFK the weapon here. But it sounds like it works a lot like the homing missile, only it's a bullet that deals like straight up a ton of damage. It says maximum of 100 points, so I imagine there's a bit of a range, but it's probably on the high. It's probably on the high end. Mail strike. Target the area with a mouse to make a very special delivery. Please consider the wind direction as letters aren't particularly heavy objects. Each letter can inflict 50 points of damage. Wow. I don't
Death
remember
by
that
paper
one.
cuts.
Yeah. I don't remember that weapon at all. That'll be fun to use. That sounds like it'd be fun and chaotic.
Yeah.
MB bomb. Select the target area with a mouse and watch in horror as a stressed, overweight video game producer falls to earth, causing widespread pandemonium and chaos. The MB bomb inflicts 100 points of damage. I don't know that weapon at all. What?
Why is it? 1 second.
Yeah, who made this game?
I have to figure out why they call it the MB bomb.
Megabyte bomb. It's the only thing I can think of. Oh, it could be someone's initials. Yeah, good point.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right. So it inflicts exactly 100 points of damage. So, yeah. If you get this, you apparently can just wipe someone out with it. Interesting.
Martin Brown.
Martin Brown. Okay.
Also known as Spadge, former head of development and production at Team 17 Software.
Aha. There we go. There we go. That's fun. Mine strike here works a lot like air strike, except they're mines. Standard mines, each one inflicts 50 points of damage. And, you know, they can roll and slide and drop down cliffs and all that, so just be careful where you direct them to be.
You get a mine, and you get a mine.
Ming Vase. Drop this like dynamite and run. After 5 seconds, it will explode, sending shards of China, the material, not the country, everywhere.
Material, not the country.
I mean, depending on where your battle zone is, maybe both.
Whew. Yeah.
Everywhere, much to the disgust of antique lovers everywhere. So it sounds like it's dynamite with shrapnel. Doesn't say what damage it does, though. Mole bomb. Press the spacebar and release this little tearaway, who will scuttle across the land before another press of spacebar sends him leaping upwards and then down, burrowing into the land. Pressing spacebar a third time will make him explode. An effective explosive and antidote to those who are prone to hiding in underground tunnels. So remember, you gotta press it once to release, once to dig, and once to explode. And it sounds like
Fun times.
Sounds like he digs straight down. So we'll have to test that. Mole Squadron. Much more scarce. This squadron... Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. It says scuttle across the land.
Yeah. So when you push it the first time, he walks across the ground that you're on. Push it the second time, he digs directly down.
Right. Okay. So it's like a crane game, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a very good metaphor. It's exactly like that. And then you just make sure to push third time to explode.
Yes.
Since otherwise it's all in vain. Although you might then have a very cool tunnel you could use to drop dynamite and stuff. So
yeah.
Mole Squadron, much more scarce. This squadron of nearsighted mammals, bottles, attacks directly, proudly claiming to dig or die. They almost always die, of course. Target the direction of the attack left and right arrow keys, then use the mouse to mark your target and launch. So it sounds like homing moles?
I think so. Yeah.
Target the direction of your attack with left and right arrow keys. Use the mouse to mark your target. Yeah. Okay, so it sounds like just homing moles. Cool. The mortar.
We get jam jars in with bottles as well.
Aw. The mortar fires at full power and explodes on contact, spreading cluster bomb fragments around the immediate area. Very useful towards the end of a round when groups of worms may be on opposite sides of the landscape. It is very effective on cavern levels, as firing mortars into the roof will deflect the clusters downward onto unsuspecting worms. Oh, I don't think I've ever done that. Use the up and down arrow keys to move the crosshair, press spacebar to fire. Each cluster can inflict 30 points of damage. Okay.
So that seems like mortar, like if you're going to be shooting through the ground, that seems to be more effective than would say the Ming Vase.
What do you mean by shooting through the ground?
It says it is very effective on cavern levels, as firing mortars into the roof will.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. So
I was reading it as like if you're above the roof, like into the roof.
Oh, gotcha. I see what you're saying. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I was mistaken.
Yeah, cavern levels basically have a ceiling, so you know there's a kind of a strategy there to hit the ceiling so that it starts spreading the clusters earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a ton of different weapons in this game.
13 pages.
Yeah, 13 pages of them, as a matter of fact. Napalm strike, light up the sky with pyrotechnic devastation, scorch the earth, and barbecue the opposition. Let's have an apocalypse now. Select the direction.
God damn it.
Select the direction of the napalm strike with the left and right arrow keys, then move the target cursor with the mouse and click on the target to launch. So it works like an airstrike, comes down from the sky. Thing is, it leaves fire on the ground, and the fire damage can rack up real bad if the worms don't hot-foot it out of there fast enough. When they get burned, they'll kind of sizzle and get bumped, but they can get bumped right into more fire. So napalm strike can be super deadly.
Yep.
Ninja rope, completely useless in the PlayStation version. Ninja rope here will help you maneuver around. So you aim it and you press the space bar to launch it, and then it like sticks into the ground. And then you can use left and right arrow keys to swing on it, as well as up and down to shorten it. It acts like a stick, so don't be expecting like it to curve around. Well, it will curve around. I take that back. When you're, it's hard to explain. You have to use it to really kind of get a feel for it, because what you can do is say you're underneath a cliff and you want to get on top of the cliff, right? Mm-hmm. You shoot the ninja rope into the very point of said cliff, swing it back and forth, and when you get enough momentum to come up, then you want to adjust the length of the rope so that you have enough oomph to get over it.
Okay.
It's something that takes a lot of feel and a lot of practice to get the hang of, but it is one way to get over cliffs and safely across maps. So press the spacebar to launch the ninja rope, use the left and right arrow keys to swing on the rope, use the up and down to shorten and lengthen, and then press the spacebar again to detach. You can drop weapons while you are on the rope. Simply press return to drop your current weapon. It is only advisable with certain weapons. So you can drop sheep from great heights. It says dynamite. You can also swing, let go, fire the rope again whilst in midair, swing and repeat, covering huge distance quickly. Be warned, this is a very
Spider-Man your way.
Yeah. Be warned, this is a very tricky technique and really works well in spacious caverns. I'm gonna be straight honest with you. I will not even attempt to do this.
Same.
That's too much.
I made that decision about 30 seconds ago. Like, yeah. I'm not gonna do this.
Exactly. Like, I can use like one ninja rope to kind of squirrel my way around a cliffside. I'm not gonna try and do that though. That's too much. It might be easier PC version, but This weapon is like impossible to use on the PlayStation. The old woman. Press the spacebar to set an old woman wandering around complaining about the price of tea and mumbling about the war and the good old days before violently exploding. It inflicts a maximum of 75 points of damage. I don't know. I feel like I vaguely remember this weapon. I don't know what kind of trajectory it's looking at when it's wandering, how it can move, whether it'll friendly fire or anything like that.
Probably
So,
very slowly.
yeah, I would assume not. She probably doesn't move too far. Maybe she does. Who knows? This game's silly.
Yeah, could be some Dark Souls old woman.
The old guy that's sitting in the wheelchair with the minigun. Parachute just prevents fall damage. Press spacebar to open. Make sure you know which way the wind is blowing, and press spacebar to close it. The GTA old woman. Oh god, who takes forever to get into the ambulance? Yes.
Ugh.
The petrol bomb here, really hot stuff, an urban favorite. You can smash the bottle against a wall and watch the flames drop on an unsuspecting victim. Best used in confined spaces. So, sounds like a Molotov then.
Yep.
Up and down arrow keys to move your crosshair. Press spacebar to fire. The longer you hold it, the farther you'll throw it. This little beauty stays burning on the landscape. Cool.
Oh.
Pneumatic drill. This is one of my favorite items. Press the spacebar to dig or to cease digging down. This is useful for gaining access to tunnels that other worms have made. You can turn into a driller killer by inflicting enemy worms 15 points of damage with the drill. Again, I think if you are able to trap them, you can hit them multiple times. I think.
Makes sense.
Prod. Sarcasm personified in a move. Press the spacebar to nudge a worm and send it to its doom. It is like you just poke them. You know, it is really a fist with one finger sticking out. You just poke them and it bumps them a little.
Nice.
Distance. Obviously, it doesn't launch them as far as a bat or the uppercut, but if they're right there on the precipice, just need that just little extra. There you go. Sally Army. Pressing the spacebar to set this God-fearing old lady staggering about to land. Sit back and watch her erupt in an explosion of volatile percussion instruments. Or press the spacebar a second time to detonate. I do not know this weapon at all. Each tambourine can inflict a maximum of 75 points of damage. Man, there's some of these that I'm looking forward to training and seeing what they do, because I do not remember a lot of these.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've never played this, but
I was gonna say, to be fair, it's been like 25 years since I've played this game.
this just looks interesting to explore in training.
That should be used.
Is what I was agreeing with on your point.
That should be used in conjunction with the old woman. Use Sally Army and the old woman. It sounds like it's just like a super old woman, like the improved version.
The old woman just starts complaining that my tea is too expensive. That Sally Army's too loud.
Scales of Justice. Press the spacebar and watch as this equalizer combines all the energies of all the teams in play.
Oh.
Ooh. If you're behind, then this is a superb tool. This also balances the energies of all allied teams in play. Wow. Does no damage, simply redistributes the current energy in the playfield.
Oh, okay.
You only get to train with a very limited number of weapons. Sorry. Oh. Well, then we probably won't see Sally Army. We might never see Sally Army. Sally Army.
Damn it, Fuchsia, I hate you.
Ruining all our fun, Fuchsia. Select Worm. So this is a very strategic ability here. Allows you to change to this incredible new tool. Allows you to move a worm around and then reselect another of your team for movement. Offers excellent strategic opportunity unless you only have one worm remaining. Press spacebar to activate, and as we mentioned before, use the tab to select a different worm.
Otherwise, you will move.
Otherwise, you'll move, and your turn will start. Sheep. Watch as with a smug grin as your fluffy friend runs unselfishly towards the enemy and detonates upon your whim with the effectiveness of dynamite and the dexterity that only a four-legged fluffy mammal can muster. Sheep is a priceless tool. Sheep are released with the space bar and are detonated with a further press of it. If left undetonated, they eventually get fed up and blow themselves up. Sheep can inflict a maximum of 75 points of damage. This is one thing that I struggle with, is remembering to push the button again to detonate it. Be like, alright, it touched him, it's gonna blow up, right? No. You have to blow it up yourself. Sheep launcher. For those people who have problems getting it up, this useful launcher will propel their sheep to dizzy new heights over any barricade or land barrier. Aim with the arrow keys and press spacebar to launch your sheep. Once the sheep is off and running, it acts as any self-respecting sheep would. But of course, this one wears a natty little crash helmet. So, rather than releasing it from your current position, you can launch it and it releases from that point.
Yes.
Shotgun. This is a very useful weapon, in my opinion. This wide gauge double barrel shotgun is great for picking off worms at long range. Use the up and down arrow keys to move the crosshair and press the spacebar to fire. You have 2 attempts to inflict a maximum of 50 damage points. It also will push them a bit. I believe it makes a really small crater too. Surrender. If you are unable to face it anymore, you can surrender. The humiliation continues, however, as your team remaining waving little white flags for the other teams to pick them off in a totally immoral way. Probably faster to just quit the match. Push escape.
Most likely.
Quit the fight. Skip go. If for some reason you feel that you needn't cause any willful decimation during your turn, you can skip it by pressing the spacebar. Alright.
What's that action called?
Skip go.
What's that action called?
Skip.
There you go.
Suicide bomber. If you can't face it anymore and you wish to go out with a bang, press the spacebar and feel all inflated. An exploding worm leaves a rather toxic substance in the air, so it sounds like it leaves a bit of a poison. I never used the kamikaze or suicide bomber things.
Yeah.
Super banana bomb. Added bonus of manual detonation. Okay. Press the spacebar after you've thrown it and shower your enemies in soft fruit. A second press will detonate. Each banana inflicts a maximum of 75 points of mayhem and destruction, so big damage on that one.
Oh yeah. We got Jeff doing firing that bomb.
I hope Venus signed it. Super Sheep. We have the amazing flying Super Sheep. Press the spacebar to release. Press a second time, and this sheep is giving powers other farm animals can only dream of. Control the flight of the sheep using the left and right arrow keys, and press the spacebar to end its reign of the skies. Super Sheep can fly for a limited time before it falls, dejected back to Earth. On collision, a Super Sheep can inflict a maximum of 75 points of damage. So, the way it works is you release it, it moves like a normal sheep would. As soon as you press the spacebar again, you have full control of where it goes. You just use the left and right. It's always going ahead, and you use left and right to turn it. So, let it jump around, or let it walk and jump around a little bit, push it to start taking control, and then you just direct it right into your opponent.
Why sheep? Like,
I don't know. Just silly 90s stuff. It's a sheep.
That's fair.
Teleport. Moving a worm out of potentially disastrous starting position is the most popular use for this feature. The normal strategy is to search for high ground away from cliffs and mines. Simply click the mouse on the location where you want your worm to end up. So, tactical
Yeah,
use.
Obi-Wan that shit.
Yeah. Uzi. Spray worms with bullets from one of the coolest guns around. Use the up and down arrow keys to move the crosshair. Press the spacebar to fire. Use the up and down arrow keys to strafe the target area. So, smaller version of the minigun.
Yep.
Alright, well that is all the weapons. That is going to be the
bulk.
Yeah, that is the bulk of the information here.
I hope you all paid attention. There will be a quiz on this in 5 minutes.
I hope you brought your pencil.
Number 2, sharpened.
Throughout the game, different crates will drop from the sky or teleport into the playfield. There are 3 distinct types: weapon, health, and utility. They contain all manner of goodies, and their contents can twist and turn the fate of a game, especially when all seems lost. They can also be shot, which is a rather anarchic way of using them, but can be equally devastating. Another tip to note is that a sheep, super sheep, old woman, and Sally army can all collect crates if left to roam the land.
Oh,
It's interesting.
that's good to know.
So weapon crates are usually more powerful weapons, or the weapons are initially handed out in limited supplies, such as super sheep, dynamite, homing missiles, etc. Sometimes you'll be very lucky and awarded one of the hidden super weapons. Can you find them all? Uh, Health crates offer a source of topping up your energy levels throughout the match. Collect a crate and that specific worm receives an energy boost. They also offer an antidote to any infection a worm may have received. Okay. Um, Utility crates contain utilities. There are two types: collectibles, which can be stored and used when the time suits. Think like ninja rope, parachute, that kind of stuff. Shown in the utility panel at the top of the weapon panel. And instant utilities, which come into effect as soon as you collect the crate. Contents are listed over the page in utilities. At least I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, yeah, I'm entirely wrong. Ha. That's fine. So the collectible ones you can get are Fast Walk, which lets you move much faster. A laser target, which gives you a little sight for aiming your shotgun, Uzi, your regular weapons. Wait, you can enable a laser sight on your kamikaze. I wonder if do you think kamikaze might make you move? Maybe that's it. That might be why. Okay.
Huh?
Interesting. Invisibility obviously makes you invisible. Makes your team invisible.
Only appears in network games.
Ah, good eye, good eye. So this doesn't exist. Low gravity lets you do super long jumps and makes all your shots go further, basically. Jetpack, really, this is like your ultimate maneuverability item here. Basically, just use your arrow keys to control vertical and rear thrusters as your worm takes to the skies. Probably only outdone by the teleport, I'd say.
Yeah.
Oh, but you can do a flyby and drop dynamite, so that's also useful.
Very.
Okay. And then here's the instant effects. So you can get double time, or you get double the amount of time on your turn. You can randomly drop a few crates. You can see what's in the crates until the end of the round. And double damage, which only lasts for one turn. But you cause double damage to any explosion that occurs. Cool.
Mighty powerful and should be used with caution.
Yeah, you are. This game, you are very much able to kill your own worms. So having double damage on that could be a little spicy, especially when you're looking at. I mean, this looks like a pretty tight map here. Look how close together all these worms are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is 5 teams, but expect to be very close to a lot of worms. So we have the menu system here. We'll just scan through this, see if there's anything that is sticking out.
Secret selection.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Probably stuff that we wouldn't be able to use.
Nope.
Disregard the secret selections.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. So here's our deathmatch challenge. Similar in play to standard games, you'll take on a number of computer teams in an ever-increasing spiral of difficulty. The statistics for this will be kept and rewards given for high-ranked teams. You need to create a team to play the missions. For information on the create a team, see the create game section.
No.
Here it is. How to create a new team. Whilst there are some default teams provided to get the best out of Worms Armageddon, we recommend that you create some teams of your own, tailored with names for your captain and other platoon members. You can also edit a number of the other aspects, not least the ability to select a special weapon you can use during the battle. So that is a special weapon that was called out in the rules. Your team will always start with that weapon. I believe the Holy Hand Grenade is one of those weapons. Name your team. You need a nickname and call sign for your team and your troops. If you're short of ideas, simply click the question mark to generate a random name. Double click for random generation of the full team. Select the control. This can be human or computer. I'm going to say you're probably going to want those on human. Select the special weapon from the list. Ideally, you should select the weapon that best suits your tactics or the one which you feel you can do the most damage with. For information on the weapons available, see below or see above. Let's see.
I believe it was mentioned that can be changed I believe it said at any point, but probably just between rounds, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe you picked one and decide you don't really like it. You can change between rounds. Could be useful, yeah. So select sound bank. A default bank will be chosen, but this can easily be changed for preferences. Um, so just changes the sound effects, and um, it's just flavor.
Odd, strange, familiar, and bizarre sounding sound sets to use.
Select the gravestone when your team dies. Select the fanfare. Like just again, more and more flavor.
Yeah.
So this shows your rounds played, rounds won, overall rank. So here, this looks like a good screenshot for your submission. Game roster, handicapping, allied teams, number of worms in the team. The game will never allow more than 8 worms per team or 18 worms in total. Default setting is 3. This setting is also useful if you wish to have a game where, for example, 5 teams of 1 worm wish to play as an alliance against a single team with 5 worms. Fusha, is this determined in the death match? Is this already set for you? Do you know? Or is it just kind of up to how you want to play?
I would wager that it's already set.
Okay, yeah, it's fixed. Good. So don't have to worry about it then. So we have a bunch of game styles, which aren't going to be... A lot of these things are not going to be changed in deathmatch.
Yep.
Okay. More stuff that's not going to be an option in deathmatch.
More stuff that's not going to be.
Yeah, doesn't look like anything of this here is going to be stuff we can set in deathmatch. So let's see what else we can find. Network play. We know we don't need to do anything with network play. Or worm.
Yep.
Okay.
Or worm.
So that is then the end of the manual. Troubleshooting. If you have any problems, reach out to support@team17.com. Mail your discs to tech support with £2.50 to Team 17 Software Limited.
They will deworm the game for you.
They will deworm the game. Yeah. Oh, hey, game controls. Here we go. All right, there's still something left in here. All right, so your left button, select weapon from the weapon panel. If your weapon panel is open it and close it with the right button. Select your crosshair. Teleport destination. Cycle through girder type selections. Select option.
So I have 12 extra buttons on the side of my mouse. What do we do for that?
I guess you could move your thumb over them and just be like, oh yeah, these are buttons. Use your arrow keys to move. You have up and down for your ninja rope, up for your jetpack. Face left and right is obvious. Move left and right. Your backspace is jump up. Jump backspace twice to do a backflip. Enter to jump forwards, and enter twice to jump backwards. And then I believe it was enter backspace for the super secret jump.
I was just about to confirm that. Backspace, enter.
Oh, okay. Your weapon controls are going to be, using the arrows to aim. I feel like you can use the mouse to aim, can't you? No, it says scroll and view landscape. Interesting. So use the arrow keys to move your crosshair. And spacebar to fire. Remember to hold it down to fire longer distance. Remember to hit the spacebar again for things like the sheep. Use the 1 through 5 keys to set your fuse time or the number of mad cows. Use the minus and plus keys to set your grenade bounce. Use the enter button to drop weapons when you are on the bungee, the parachute, or the ninja rope. And then you have the base general controls here. Escape to open up your options. R to see the replay if you're wondering what the hell just happened. tab to move between your worms. Home to go back to the selected worm's turn. Let's see here. Chat panel doesn't matter. Chat panel doesn't matter. Press delete plus shift to force energy bars to display, which I will be doing that.
Yes.
And then insert and delete to rotate through worm name detail level. That sounds like it's not useful.
Yep.
And then that's it. All
Oh,
right.
hey, look at that. If we scroll to the bottom for the credits, I just the producer, MB Martin Brown.
There he
At
is.
the very top there.
Yeah, there he is. Also, Jan the man. Good job, Jan. Okay, that was a lot.
That was.
That was a lot. So there's a lot of weapons. I say definitely make use of that training time. Get used to the jumping.
Even if you're not going to get a lot out of the weapons, like the weapons that you would want, definitely still do the training.
Yeah, definitely do the training. Get used to the jumping. That's my biggest recommendation. Get used to the jumping because it is a little tricky. And then also kind of get a feel for how things like the bazooka shoot, where you have to hold the space bar and let go to fire it. Because if you just tap it, it can just shoot right at your foot and you blow your own self up.
And we don't want that.
No,
Nobody wants that.
I mean, you don't want that. I mean, I want that.
Well,
for
I
other
mean,
people.
I want that for everybody else.
Yeah. All right. All right. Do you have anything else to add then, Kylo? Otherwise, we're gonna head over to the wheel picker.
I think we should just head to the wheel picker.
Let's head to the wheel picker. Okay, everyone. All right. So, who's gonna win this week? Got any shots to call here?
I don't know. I think Stormy is gonna surprise us and take first place this week.
All right. Let us find
You can
out.
full screen that window too, by the way, in the bottom right.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Hey, what a guy. Oh, it stopped it. Rigged.
For 10th place, however.
Oh. Blake Hazard.
All right.
Also goes by Saro. Good job, buddy. I actually kind of expect you to do a lot better than that. 9th place.
Well, I was just trying to be nice. Or Stormy, I was just trying to be nice. Gosh.
Here we go. Here we go. Octo. Kind of surprised with the 9th place there, buddy. You can do better than
You're much better than that.
Although
Maybe he just had a busy week.
that. It could be. I don't know Octo's Worms experience. Or whether that's one of his, in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Tater. Tater coming with the 8th.
Oh.
Okay. That's 3 podiums in a row, Tater. Good job. All right. Oh, it's truly 7. Oof. Apparently, I have some trouble knocking the rust off.
This is some rigged bullshit here.
I do realistically hope to stay top 5 this week. I do have Worms experience, but I know there's several people, Fusha, who are much better than I am.
Yeah.
Dang, Strife. Coming hot off of that awesome Lemmings performance.
There you go.
see, that was a 6th.
That was 6th place. Yep.
Oh, Kythius. All right, Kythius with a 5th.
Ah, fish coming in at 5th. The 5th fish.
5th fish. I don't think Kythius played Grand Theft Auto, did he? I didn't see an
I
entry
don't
for
know.
him. I think he skipped. Skew.
Skio.
Hopefully he can get in on Lemmings and some worms here.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey.
oh. All right.
There you go, buddy.
I'll gladly take the 4th place spot.
4th is a good spot for this one.
I mean, that's higher than you.
Yeah. Smoked me. All my prior knowledge out the window. Did me no good. Decky.
Decky coming in at 3rd.
Ooh, here we go. Top 2.
Stormy's almost gotten selected twice now.
Ooh, Captain, way to go.
Oh, look at that.
Our silent protector here.
Sneaking into the 2nd place win. Who is Big Captain? Only a handful of us know.
Only 2 people know, plus Big Captain.
I think Stormy knows as well.
Oh, she should.
Oh, I was so
16-bit.
close. Stormy almost had the first
Oh,
spot
yeah.
there, but goes to 16-bit.
There she is. All right. That is that.
That list again. 10th place, Blink Hazard. 9th, Octo. 8th, Tater. 7th, You, Markman. 6th, Handsome Stripe. 5th, Kythius. 4, the other Kai, Kylorian. 3rd goes to Decky F. 2 goes to the Big Captain. And number 1 is 16-bit Hyper Turbo.
I am curious how well 16-bit's going to do on Lemmings. I know he's going to be doing his pretty soon here. He was the one who nominated it, so I know he's played it before.
But his whole thing is playing with the arcade stick, right?
Right, yeah. So he plays with the fight stick, and
Fight stick.
Yeah, and when I told him that Lemmings got chosen, he was like, "Oh God, I fucking hate that game." So I wonder how well he'll do. Maybe he nominated that one. He's like, "Oh yeah, this game sucks," and went that direction with it, or I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious to see how he does. So
I mean,
anywho.
it looks like he's gonna rock with Armageddon or with Worms Armageddon there. So
all right, we're gonna have to start calling him 16-bit Bruce Willis. 16-bit Liv Tyler.
Oh,
Anywho.
fun stuff.
All right, so that's it then that we've got here. I will be going live in about 5.5 hours with my worms. Kylo, what are you thinking?
If I'm gonna, might be later tonight, might be tomorrow. I'm currently almost. I don't know. I shouldn't say almost done because I don't know what post-game content there will be for Mario, but I am really enjoying the hell out of Super Mario Wonder right now. So
Damn, you devoured that game. You just got that yesterday, didn't you?
I just got it yesterday. Yeah,
Gulp.
it is
Hiccups.
very fun. So
Okay. Yeah, and on my channel I finished out Earthbound the other night, so I'll be continuing on with Secret of Mana, as well as doing Worms tonight. So, all right, guys.
unfortunately, we can't play Zombies Ate My Neighbors right now.
Ever since I found out that Zombies is on the wheel, I have wanted to play Zombies so bad, and I have to stop myself. It's like I didn't want to play it until I knew it was on the wheel, and now I have this just grand desire to play it.
No, Mark, you can't play with this toy.
I can't do it.
But I want to. It's right there.
So, All right, guys. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. Let's see if there's anybody playing that we can raid. Let's check. Who's online? Grom is online. I don't see any other wheelers, so. All right. Yeah, we'll send everybody over to Grom. He's close enough to the wheel. He's competed a couple games. And then we'll go from there.
Excuse me.
Everybody, you have a good one. Best of luck with worms. Remember to do your practice, do your training. It will come
And
in
just
handy.
give it your all.
Yeah. Always do your best. Use your whole 5 hours. All right. Stream manager, raid channel. To the Grom. All right. Best of luck, everyone. Take care.
Take care.